Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Tom's Takes podcast. Folks, college basketball season is now in full swing. In the last pod episode, we checked out the Jays and talked about the CHI Health Center with our friend Joe Subchik. And now we're going to talk about their colleagues down I-80 with my good friend who is a diehard Nebrasketball fan. This is Alex Van Lant, a.k.a. AVL. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good today. Pleasure to be on here.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on here. Thank you so much for making the time to talk with me. So, what you just watched the vlog episode that I did about a year ago on Pinnacle Bank Arena and the Nebrasketball game that was against Bethune-Cookman. What were your thoughts on that? It's okay if you have any critiques, but what are your overall thoughts on that episode?
I loved it, and I thought you hit on some key things that I agree with, and I think we'll get into later in the episode. But I know that game against Bethune-Cookman was a little closer than I wanted it to be. So good you got to see a good game. I'd encourage you to make it down for a Big Ten game. I think those games have a little more energy to them.
Yes.
But yeah, love the vlog. Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
No major critiques from me.
Okay, great. If I do make it down for a game this season, if not the Creighton game for obvious reasons, I would make it down hopefully for the Oregon game.
Okay, that should be a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know what day of the week that is?
I would think that's actually on a Tuesday. Okay. It's a Tuesday in January. That's what I saw on the schedule. Yeah, of course, I, as a Jays fan, I grew up with Dana Altman as Creighton's head coach.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to miss an opportunity to go see him again. I wouldn't say I'd be rooting for Oregon. I wouldn't care who won that game. I just would love to see the opportunity to see Dana again.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Yep. Talk about your memories at the Devaney Center and at PBA. Like, first off, what were your best memories at the Bob?
The Bob holds a special place in my heart. So definitely went to a few games there growing up as a kid. One that stands out in particular, I went with my uncle. We were playing, I think they were number 2 or number 3 Texas. And Huskers, it was a great game. Huskers ended up getting the win. So huge win for the program. And I remember it was, towards the end of the game, and it was looking like we were going to win. And students and everyone was getting ready to storm the court, and I was with my uncle. I'm like, am I good to go down there? And he's like, absolutely, get down there. Yes. So it's my first court storm. I've had one or two after that, but that was an awesome game. I have a lot of memories at the Bob, going to state basketball too, so it's a big tradition in our family. Just going down to state hoops. So I think that's as we get into talking about Pinnacle Bank, a big part of that move, having state hoops there, has been really cool. But also with the Bob, have you been to a volleyball game there yet?
I've not.
I've been to 1 or 2, and that is an awesome facility that they've turned it into. So with volleyball, and then I'm not sure if everyone realizes that that's a whole sports complex there. So
yes, it is.
There's indoor track, which is special to me. I was on the track team for a year. So really awesome indoor track facility. Swimming, gymnastics, the basketball training facility,
wrestling.
Weight room, wrestling. Yeah. So it really is a top-notch facility, especially after all the upgrades they've done. So the downfall with the Bob is there's just not much around there. So there's really no bars, restaurants to go to. So that's been a big upgrade for PBA.
Speaking of PBA, what have been some of your favorite memories there?
The obvious, I'll maybe hold the main one for last, but have a ton of great memories. It's a really great atmosphere. The Terrence Crawford and Dongo fight was one that comes to mind. So that was awesome. Packed crowd. He ended up getting the knockout win.
Yes, of course he did.
Title fight. So that was a big one. There's been a lot of awesome Big Ten games there. The main one, which is probably the best sporting event I've ever been to, No Sit Sunday. The first year of the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nebraska had a pretty good year under Tim Miles, and it was looking like if we beat number 8 Wisconsin, we're going to the tournament. And it was on a Sunday. Gorgeous day. I actually have a story about this. So the night before, me and some friends who were all big Husker basketball fans.
Mm-hmm.
We were super excited about the game, and we get back from a party, and we were like, let's go down just to the arena because we were so juiced up. So we got all decked out in our Husker stuff. It was probably 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I had this big wooden Herbie Husker head.
Mm-hmm.
Took down there, and we just went down, took pictures. There was no one there. But one of my friends had tweeted at Tim Miles that we had camped out.
Oh, wow.
There was no camping. We went back. We went back to our room, but we wake up and Tim Miles had retweeted it.
Oh,
so everyone and it ended up in an ESPN article that fans were camping before the game. So
wow.
we had scooters tweeting at us come in for a free drink at Scooters. So that was awesome. And then before the game, people were lined up hours before we were there. It was just great vibes heading into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those early March, one of the first nice days of the year. Sun was out.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing with No Sit Sunday is no one sat the whole game. And the best way to describe it is if there's a big possession and you need that stop and the crowd's all into it, standing up, yelling, it was like that the entire game.
Good.
And it just had this feeling we can't lose this. It was the single greatest home advantage I've ever experienced. And
That's
ended
fantastic.
up getting the win. Another one of my court stormers.
Yes.
It was awesome. So that's definitely got to be at the top of not only Pinnacle Bank memories for me, but one of the best sporting events
Yes.
I've been to.
Yep. You got the Nebrasketball shirt on. Who is that?
I think this is random guy. I do have to give a shout out. This is a Full Ride Vintage Gear shirt. So go to fullridevintagegear.com. They've got a lot of cool retro vintage Husker apparel. So
That's
this
great.
is one of them. Had to rep it today.
There you go. All right, now let's get into the nitty gritty, and we're going to rate a bunch of things about Pinnacle Bank Arena. First, we'll begin with the location. What do you have to say about that? On a scale from 1 to 10, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 9 on location. So I think it's great. We mentioned the downfalls of
the Bob.
Of the Bob. Totally opposite with Pinnacle Bank. You're right in the Haymarket. Got the rail yard there. Tons of bars, restaurants. And it's close enough to campus too that you can walk on a nice day. I do think they have shuttles for students, but we would walk most of the time if it wasn't too cold out. So I think with that, you're kind of right. It's cool. I think it kind of completes this triangle with Memorial Stadium, Haymarket Park, and then Pinnacle Bank Arena. So you got kind of all three of the main Husker stadiums, arenas right there.
Yes.
So location's awesome. I don't know what would get it to a 10, but I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would also say 9 out of 10. It's a very good location. I think you said just about everything right there. Yeah, the Bob, there's not a ton around it, but with PBA, there is so much surrounding it. There's so much life around the place. Yeah, bars, restaurants, shops, hotels, apartments. You've got just about everything you need.
Yep. Which, like I mentioned, state basketball tournament. It's awesome for that because families can go. They can stay at. There's plenty of hotels around. It's kind of a one-stop shop. So you're staying there. You can eat there. You can drink there. You go to the games, and kind of repeat the next day.
Yep. Let's go to. We've already talked a little bit about it, but outside atmosphere. Yeah, just the vibe around the building. It's I would say that's I would give that a 9.5 out of 10.
Yep. I was gonna give it another 9. I think that the thing that I maybe is keeping it from a 10 is they've rotated through restaurants a decent amount. So, Barry's is great place. I don't even know if they have food anymore. What used to be Longwell's is something new. I think Gate 25 is still there. So End zone is probably my favorite place to go. That's a great spot, good Husker bar. It's always super crowded. So I think they're lacking like one or two key signature bars around there. Rail Yard's awesome, so that's kind of an outdoor bar itself.
Good.
But yeah, awesome ambiance around outside.
There you go.
Yeah.
How is the parking and accessibility? This one I give it an 8.5 out of 10. The parking is pretty good.
Yeah.
You got your garages that are like every quarter mile or so in downtown. Are there like any bus routes that go to PBA? There's got to be.
No, there's the shuttle.
The shuttle.
They had a shuttle taking students there. Other than that, I'm not real sure I know of anything, but it is definitely a parking garage atmosphere. So plenty of parking garages. The one I always park at's a little bit more downtown, so it's a few blocks away, but you kind of get outside of it's not so as expensive as the arena. The one thing I'll say, and I know basketball is not really a tailgating sport.
No.
But I do like tailgating.
Yes.
So I think like what CHI has, it at least gives you the option to tailgate on a nice day. So Pinnacle Bank is lacking that. So for that, I'll probably give the parking an 8. But super accessible, easy to get to. The garages can be a bit of a pain to get out of when everyone's leaving. My secret garage that I park at's a little bit better. So.
There you go.
I don't think it's really a secret, but
no, not really. How about the exterior of the building? Like when you're walking up to the vault, does it look like you're going to a basketball game? Is there something that's visually pleasing about the building?
I think it's a true basketball arena from the outside. So there's no convention center with it. It's just a basketball arena. And I love the top like silver metal look it's got to it. They got this like, I think it's like a net sculpture. It's kind of a funky looking net thing.
Yep.
So I have a little mixed opinions on that. It's grown on me a little bit. So I like it. But yeah, I think it's really cool as you're driving in to Lincoln, coming in on 180 that turns into 9th Street, and you see Memorial Stadium on the left, Pinnacle Bank on the right. It's a cool outside exterior. Yeah.
Yep, I would give that. I would say that it's a 9 out of 10. Yeah, you were right. It does look like you're going to a basketball arena. Yeah, because of the sculpture of the basketball hoop. It really, that silver thing where the Pinnacle Bank Arena signage is on, low key, it does kind of look like a hoop, like a ball is going through a net.
Yeah.
Every time I look at that building, it looks like that. Yeah. What about the interior? Like the moment you walk inside, the moment like you see the whole seating bowl, like does it look good to you?
You know, the moment you walk in, there's not a whole lot there. You know, you got the escalators to take you up. Kind of depends where you go in, but I'd say when you walk in, it's nothing special. But as you get into the actual arena, the seating area, I think the design of it is really cool, and I really like the open concourse area behind one of the hoops. I think that's a really cool feature that opens up the arena quite a bit. The downside of that, and you mentioned it in your vlog, it's pretty steep when you get up into the third level. So the seats that you're missing behind the hoop, that's that open concourse area, those end up going way up to the third level. So when you're up on the third level, you're up there. I actually had season tickets for a couple years they were literally the top row, back corner. You could still see okay, but it's up there and it's pretty steep. So,
on the flip side of having a steep upper bowl sections is that it does make it well, first off, you're bringing fans a bit closer to the action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're trying to
Definitely.
get everybody as close to the court as you can. And it also, I'm not a sound engineer, but there's something about arenas like that that make it louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're closer to the court, everything just gets louder, especially in like big moments.
Mm-hmm.
If the Huskers are going on a big run against a big opponent, let's say Purdue. When Nebraska played Purdue like a few years ago, when Purdue was like number one in the country, they had
Yeah.
Zach Edey. Oh man, I couldn't imagine like how loud the arena got.
Oh yeah. I think we'll get into it later on just the fan engagement and the vibe. But I do think it truly does give a massive home court advantage, and something that shows up in the record. You know, I think the last 2 years we've gone 18-1 at home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's truly anyone coming to Pinnacle Bank needs to bring it. No matter what kind of Husker team you got, it's going to be a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's loud. It gets rocking. I think that the seats are great. You know, so I think the interior. I might go 10 out of 10 on that.
Okay.
Go my first 10.
Yep. No disagreement here. I would say 10 out of 10 too. Another thing I really like is the placement of the students.
Yes.
They are right
Yes.
on top of the
Yes.
court, right behind the benches. And especially if you're towards the opponent's bench, they can give you the business all game long.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one thing you mentioned in the vlog that I definitely want to take some time talking about today, because at the Devaney, it was all just behind one hoop.
Yes.
All the students were there. They moved to Pinnacle Bank, and that was a great move, putting the students both behind the hoop and behind the benches.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in college, we had our seats. We'd get there early. We were always the second row behind the Husker bench. And it really is a huge energy advantage. You know, you're so close. You can, respectfully, but get in the other team's head. They can hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we utilize that, and it really does make for a really fun atmosphere for the students. And I had a blast going to games. You're right there in the action. It's awesome.
It reminds me, I'm not saying Nebraska's student section is Duke, not even close, and not a lot of student sections are Dukes, but they do remind me of the Cameron Crazies a bit because of the placement of the section. Because, the Cameron Crazies, if you watch Duke games, they are right next to the court, right on top of the court.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and that's what makes Cameron Indoor Stadium so vaunted.
Yeah.
Why Duke rarely ever loses there.
Yeah. I do wish they do something similar with Memorial Stadium. They kind of shove the students in a corner. Getting them a little closer to the action, I think, would be nice, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Too much money on the line.
Yep. PBA is just, you can easily tell it was specifically designed for college basketball because of the placement of the student section, because of how intimate the whole place is. So that's just phenomenal. Moving on to food. What is your favorite food at PBA?
It's a good question. I do typically, if I have time, try to eat before. The food, I think you get your standard Nebraska. So you can go get a Runza, you get a Valentino's pizza, Fairbury hot dogs. So all three of those are awesome. If I'm getting a bite to eat, it's probably one of those three. Other than that, there's nothing too out of the ordinary, I'd say. I would love to see them kind of put a signature dish out or something. So
Yep.
I think that could elevate their food game a little bit.
Yep, I would give the food, this is my lowest rating yet. I would say 6 out of 10. It's
I think
good.
that's fair.
It's good. I never had a problem with the food.
Yeah.
It's just that there's not much variety. I mean, a lot of what you can get at Pinnacle Bank Arena, you can also easily get at football games at Memorial Stadium.
Yep.
You mentioned it, the Fairbury hot dogs, the Runzas, the Valentinos. I mean, all the typical Husker concession items. Yep. And PBA needs something that stands out, something that you couldn't get at Memorial Stadium.
Totally agree. I think their version of that is maybe the Colby Ridge ice cream.
Yes.
Which is good, but to have your signature dish be an ice cream cone, I think they could step up their game a little bit.
And the Colby Ridge ice cream, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. I mentioned it in the episode. That was very good.
Yeah.
Yep. How about, and this is going to be a little more difficult subject for you, but it's honoring team history.
Woo.
I mean,
yep. This one, just by default, is going to be a low rating. There's not a whole lot of history to honor. They do have the 4 retired jerseys up there.
yes.
I guess 4 men's, and then they've got women's retired jerseys too. So that's cool. Those are on display. Other than that, there's really not much they can do.
No.
So I'm not going to fault the arena for that.
No.
But it's got to be a 2 or 3 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. I would give that actually another 6 out of 10 because, it's not the fault of the arena. It's the fault of the team for not getting much history, being the only power conference program that has never won an NCAA tournament game. But they do what they can. Yeah. You mentioned it. They have the retired jerseys up there. They have the list of whatever conference championships they have from like way back in the day. And then there's the NCAA.
Maybe we'll get the Crown Tournament banner.
Yes, there you go. NCAA tournament appearances. I think there's 8, if I can recall correctly. That's what Nebrasketball has as of the time of this recording. And of course, they do that for the same thing for the women who actually have won games in the NCAA tournament. Retired numbers on their side. They've made the Sweet 16 a couple of times, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
So they do what they can. The teams have just got to be better.
We're working on it.
Yeah, okay.
We're working on it.
Yeah, okay.
And Pinnacle Bank is a big part of that.
Yes, it's a good recruiting tool.
It is.
The scoreboard, the PBA has a new scoreboard this season.
They do.
I have not yet gone down there to see it in person. Have you?
I have not. So I don't think I can provide a fair rating here. I like the old one. This one's supposed to be bigger and better and cleaner, crisper. So I have high hopes for it.
Yes. And again, I haven't seen it in person yet, but having seen it in like some videos of it, it's got the underbelly screens. And those are a big thing in scoreboards these days.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yes, and it's like a wraparound LED underbelly scoreboard. Those are important because, like, especially if you're seated closer to the court, you don't have to stretch your neck up like this to see what the score is, how much time is left, stats on certain players. The old scoreboard, it was fine for its time, but it was time for a change. I mean, it was just okay. This new scoreboard it looks great. I would say it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Like I said, I don't think I can give a fair rating because I haven't seen it in person, but
Okay.
I got hopes for a 10 out of 10.
All right. Cost. Does going to Nebrasketball games, does it break your bank or not so much?
Ticket prices are very reasonable. I used to have season tickets for a couple years, and I can't remember the actual price, but I think it was like $200 maybe. It was very affordable. Now, like I said, we were way up. It was the worst seats in the arena, literally. But super affordable. I think they're selling out now, so like I don't think you can just go get season tickets. They do have some single game available, but it really depends who we're playing. If it's West Georgia, I'm sure you can go get a ticket for next to nothing. Purdue comes to town, Creighton, I'm sure those are getting up there. So
Yep.
overall, I think ticket prices are very reasonable. No complaints there with tickets.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very similar thing for Creighton games at the CHI. It really all depends on the opponent. So the cost, my ticket for last year, it was pretty cheap. I would say, and it was a lower bowl ticket. It was like, I want to say, like $54.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yep, and the opponent was Bethune-Cookman, who hardly anyone has heard of, but yeah, it was still a good time. And I think the food prices, they were seemed pretty reasonable. Like the Fairbury hot dogs, the Husker combo, that was like, I want to say that was like $9 or $10.
Yeah, to me the food and beverage prices are pretty standard. I think you're getting a beer for, I don't know, $10 or $12 or something, but it's a tall boy. What I would like to see them do is some specials.
Yes.
Some nights, which maybe they've done that I don't know about, but I'd love to see a $3 beer and hot dog night or something.
There you go.
Sprinkle in there, especially for those Bethune-Cookman games. Get more fans there.
There you go.
Cost standard.
Yep.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I would
Concessions.
rate the same.
Tickets maybe 8 or 9.
Okay, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. And I remember student tickets were pretty cheap, very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Lot cheaper than the football games.
Yes. Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And I had just as much fun, maybe more fun, going to basketball games as a student.
Good.
So it's just you're closer to the action. It's just a great. Basketball games as a student are a blast.
Mm-hmm. Good. Fan support and inside atmosphere. This, again, very dependent on the opponent. When PBA is rocking, it's rocking. I mean, it can get electric when Purdue or Wisconsin or Creighton come to town. It's not that great when Bethune-Cookman or West Georgia or FIU. I think they play FIU tomorrow. When they come to town, it's it's. I would say 8.5 out of 10. What say you?
I think this is where Pinnacle Bank shines.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I think the atmosphere and the energy is top notch Big Ten basketball atmosphere, and like I said, it's reflected in the home record for the Huskers. So that first year at Pinnacle Bank, it was magic. I mean, I think we lost one game that first year to Michigan, and it was a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're basically losing all our road games, but winning all our home games.
Mm-hmm.
And it got us to the tournament, and that's been the case other years too, where we really struggle on the road, but we come home, and it's very hard to beat the Huskers at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now there have been some years where it was maybe a little easier, but when we have a solid, sufficient team, it's hard to come into Pinnacle Bank and win. I don't care if you're Purdue, Creighton. It's hard. I know Creighton's gotten their number at home, but we kind of seem to be trading off.
Yes. Yeah, the road team in the series has won the last 4 games.
Yeah.
Yep, and the Huskers have won the last 2 in Omaha. Creighton has won the last 2 in Lincoln. The Jays and Huskers will meet, I want to say it's December. Is it the 7th or?
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's
right.
They'll meet in December at the Vault. Let's go to amenities like bars, restaurants, kids' play areas. I know that there's this one bar I've never been in. I've never had access to it, but it's called like the Emeritus Club.
Okay. That one's maybe a little fancier for I don't have access to that one.
Yep, but
yes, I have heard of that. I'm not sure I've been there. As far as amenities, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything too out of the ordinary. I do really like the store they've got in there.
Yes.
I think it's a super nice store. Great place to get Husker merch.
Oh yeah.
we would always go during halftime. It kind of became our tradition to
There you go.
go check out what new merch they've got. Other than that, I don't know if there's any kid play areas
I haven't seen any
that I've seen. So amenities, I'd say there's not much other than the team store.
Yeah, I would give that a 4 out of 10. I mean, I haven't experienced them for myself, but I mean, they're there, but I think they could do a little better. And
yeah,
I
don't know. I don't know if you want to call the chocolate wall an amenity or whatever that is. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's on the lower main concourse. It's a wall of like little chocolate squares.
Oh
I
yeah.
have no idea why it's there. Maybe it's not chocolate, but it sure looks like chocolate.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned this in my Creighton episode. I think the Huskers could do something similar. They need to like engage kids, like put down like a Papa Shot or like some interactive games, for the kids that can keep them engaged and it really have them burn off some steam because kids can have a lot of energy.
Absolutely.
And they I don't think they're going to be the most interested in the game.
Yep.
So if you want to put them somewhere, put them at the Papa Shot or in some play area, and let them roll around. Lastly, cheer squad and mascot. I would give this, I would say, a 6 out of 10. I mean, Herbie Husker, he's great. He is a very lovable guy. He wasn't really like an overwhelming presence at the game that I went to, but he was there.
Yeah.
He did what he could. And the cheer squad, again, similar thing. Nothing too amazing about them. One thing I will say about them is that, and I mentioned this in the episode, is that every time the Huskers hit a 3, they would throw a T-shirt out into the crowd, which I found pretty cool. Yeah. What say you?
So I do have to say I used to date a cheerleader, so I have some bias there, so I won't get into that one. But the mascots, I think Herbie is a 10 out of 10 mascot.
Okay.
I love Herbie. He's awesome. Now, Lil Red, I am not a Lil Red fan. I think there's a lot of Husker fans that feel the same way. I'm going to go a negative 4 out of 10 on Lil Red, and I think we should pop him. No offense to who's ever in Lil Red. I'm sure you're a good person. But, I think we should stick to Herbie.
Stick with Herbie.
Yeah.
Yep. One more thing. What are your thoughts on the team this year?
Good question. I think, there are quite a few unknowns. So losing Bryce Williams is a big hit. Losing Juwan Gary is a big hit. So that's a lot of offense. And a lot of offense we're missing, and a lot of defense and rebounding from Gary, too. We do get ranked mass back. So I think it's going to be a little bit different style of team that we see, but still within a Fred Hoiberg style. Instead of the offense running through Bryce Williams, it's going to run through Rank Mast, who I think has the opportunity to be a really special player. He runs the 5. He's a big guy with real good post moves, good feel around the rim. Kind of has that old school post player, but can then step out and hit a 3. So I think the exhibition game against BYU, I think it was 7 or 8 from 3.
He outplayed AJ DeBonsa, didn't he?
He did. Didn't West Georgia, was it? Didn't do as much there, but I think he's going to be a really tough matchup for teams. You're going to have to play him on the perimeter and down low tough. So I don't know many guys in the Big Ten that are going to be able to match up with him, both up top and down low. Other than that, I think we're an upgrade at point guard. So we're getting Jamarcus Lawrence back, transferred back, a little bit more of a true point guard than we've had in a while. So I think that's been a big weakness of the team. But I think it's gonna be a pretty heavy 3-point shooting team this year. So we got Price Sandfort from Iowa, sharpshooter. Connor Essegian, we know he's a good sharpshooter. I think we'll probably have him coming off the bench. as a sixth man. I really like him. I like his feel around the court. He's a good passer too. Just kind of an undersized guy. A little bit of a liability on defense, but I'm hoping that turns around a little bit. I really like Connor Siege, and then we've got some other new guys like Braden Frager, Lincoln native, that looks like he could be a fairly dynamic player, pretty good size to him. But I think it's everyone can shoot the three on the team, so it's going to be a lot of living and dying by the three. So I'm excited about this year. I'm feeling better about this year going into it than I was last year.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we got for today. Alex, any final thoughts?
No, it's been a pleasure being on the pod. So this is super fun. I'm really looking forward to Husker basketball this year.
Yes.
So
yeah, it shall be an interesting year for the Big Red. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next pod.